In Nigeria today, young people find themselves at the crossroad of tradition and personal aspiration. Marriage is still seen as a major sign of success and adulthood, and society often expects youth to settle down by a certain age, whether they are ready or not. Families, religious institutions, and cultural norms continue to place pressure on young people, while many youths are choosing to focus on education, careers, and personal growth before marriage. This tension between marriage and pressure and personal readiness is the focus on today's conversation. Welcome to Youth Connect, brought to you by Trust TV. I am Fatima Ahmed Musa. And let's go on a quick break. I will return. You get to meet my guest, and then we go into the discussion proper. Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. Now, joining me in the studio is Firdausi Tanko-Lami. She's a journalist with Voice of Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much, Miriam.
Well, Lami, let's talk about the pressure, on marriage and whether youths are ready before they even take the step. What do you have to say about the kind of pressure that young people face in Nigeria today?
The pressure is everywhere, to be honest. Let me start from the family, your nuclear family. They tend to see you as a failure if you got into a certain age and you're not married, and they use it as a yardstick for, oh, she's not been successful if she's not married. Especially for women, women face more pressure than the men. The men do face pressure too, but it's when they get to a certain age, like they get to 40. But women, once you're already in your 20s, your early 20s, they'll start telling you, oh, when are you bringing him home? And when you get to your 25, you started being a prayer point.
I mean,
they make you seem like every prayer they are making, even if you're good at everything, you've edged your education, your career, you're at the peak. But there's just something about this marriage that they just make it seem like every other thing you've achieved is not, you've not gotten to that milestone if you're not married. So the pressure is real, to be honest.
So you talked about the angle of families. Let's talk about the society also having their own expectations, how they picture marriage, like you just said. If you're not married, then you've not achieved anything. It's like a trophy at this point, just like you mentioned. So do you think that is also adding to the kind of pressure that young people are going through, aside from family, the society?
Yes, societal pressure, especially social media. You go online these days, you see weddings, and you just be like, God, when am I going to get married? Then you're outside, and like I remember going to make my hair at the salon, and the woman was like, how is children? And I'm like, no, I'm not married. And she started preaching to me. She started telling me, oh, this is someone I did not even know. I just went to a shop to make my hair. And she started this preaching of, oh, you need to get married, blah, blah, blah. And there's this respect that, I don't know, they tend to give, the society tends to give married women, a married woman, rather. They will tell you, oh, she's a married woman. Don't you see?
A certain kind of respect.
Yes, she's a married woman, don't you see? And I'm like, so because I'm not married, you shouldn't give me that respect. So the society too, they do not make it easy for people. I mean, I also, even when you want to go and rent houses, I know of landlords that will say, oh, they cannot give a spinster an apartment because she's not married.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's been going around now.
Yes,
if you go to rent a house, if you're not married, you can't get it, whether you're a man or a woman.
You won't get a house. And I'm like, when has this become this bad that you can pay your rent, you're working, you earn money, but because you're not married, they're not going to give you the apartment? I mean, it's
like they don't even wait to see if you're a responsible and decent person for them to determine whether
they just want to know. If you just tell them, if they ask you, oh, Oga Nko, or what about Oga? And you say, no, I'm not married. And they'll be like, no, we know they give house to person we never marry. I find it very embarrassing.
Definitely, you have to.
Yeah.
But considering Nigeria's current economic realities with unemployment, high cost of living, and also low wages when we come to the labor now we're talking about, do you think it's realistic for youth to marry early?
I mean, to be honest, a man earning low cannot really take up a family because children will come. We look at school fees, we look at accommodation, we look at feeding. The economic reality did not make it easy for, youth to get married easily. Gone are the days where people get married at 22. Men, I'm talking about men these days. Men in those days, they get married at 20s. But now, you see people saying, I'm not ready. And why are they saying they are not ready? Most of the time, where you inquire, it's just financially. They are not ready financially. And, the minimum wage is 70,000 naira. I don't think you can keep up a family with 70,000.
I mean, how much will you pay house rent? Like you said, by the time you break 70, a lot of people are still complaining that it doesn't even feed them for a whole month.
Exactly.
And then talking about getting married. But aside from that, there should be other side hustles that should be bringing income too. I mean, a lot of the young people that we see.
Look at even if you have business these days, it's not easy. The tax is here and there. There are other things that you would incur. So, I think one of the major problems at which the men are not trying to wife these women is financial issues. And when you look at traditions, they'll tell the men to bring this, bring that, the list for the marriages, the traditional rites and every other thing. I mean, one has to have not a lot of money per se, but a certain amount of money to be able to wife a woman.
What does being ready for marriage means to you? Is it about age? Is it about financial stability or emotional maturity, or the combination of all? I mean, you mentioned some of them, but particularly to you, what does it mean?
Personal readiness. You might be financially okay and you're not still ready for marriage. You might not have it emotionally, because marriage is something for a lifetime.
It's a journey.
It's a journey. And sometimes you can have all these and you have you're meeting the wrong people, the wrong partner. So you won't say because they're being pressured that you go and rush into marrying someone that doesn't befit you, or you are not emotionally connected to, or someone that treats you bad, a nonchalant person, someone that is less intentional about you. So I would say for me, personal readiness, and getting somebody that you think and compatibility. Compatibility too is another thing that I would take into consideration to, journey with anybody in the marriage, in marriage. So I don't think being financially ready is enough alone, or the pressure from family, society, or even culturally is enough. It's because at the end of the day, it is just you that's going to be in the marriage, nobody else. And all those people that you think that are getting you pressured, when the day comes down, you see them telling you, oh, we didn't tell you to do it. Human beings are so quick to withdraw when things go sour. They'll tell you, oh no, that was not what we meant. You would have looked very well. So at the end of the day, and I think one have to be personal ready.
So, but looking at what is happening so far with a lot of youth, I mean, we see, like you mentioned, the age range still, regardless of whether our fathers back then got married at the age of 20, 25, 30, thereabout, but we still see the same timeline playing out right now. You see young couples, maybe the boy is 25 and then probably the girl is 20, 21 and thereabout. Do you think a lot of the youths are actually marrying because they are ready, or simply because they are tired of explaining why some of them are still single?
I think this question is actually individualistic. It depends on, some people get married, because they are tired of explaining that, oh, I am single, I've not seen a man, blah blah blah. Well, some people get married, sexually too. Some people get married because they do not want to fornicate. I've heard of someone telling me, oh, I got married to my wife because I didn't want to fornicate. And sometimes it could be that you just crave a partner. There are people that just crave having a wife around or a husband around. And also, some people do it to pepper them. Let's not forget those category of people that, oh, I just want to get married to also pepper them. I think it's more of someone's personal decision.
And okay, so how has, even though you mentioned social media, but there are other broader things that happens on social media. How has social media increased marriage pressure, especially with display of luxury weddings that we've seen, and the so-called power couple?
The luxury wedding that we are having on social media these days have made people forget about reality. If people post pictures or videos of a humble wedding, they get bashed online. You see that you get to read the comment section and be like, oh, God forbid I'll settle for less. God forbid, those kind of comments.
God when.
Okay, when it's extravagant, it is God when. But when it is humble, you hear them say, God forbid I'll settle for less. Or not just they marry anyhow. You see it see it on the comments. And social media has made people reality to be hidden, and forgetting that this is most people reality. Humble beginnings, humble weddings. And it's not about the luxury, it's about the coming together of two families, becoming one. So, they don't see that anymore. They want to see the luxury wedding gowns, wedding clothes, the luxury halls, the luxury cakes and all that. So social media has actually done more harm than good. I know you want to document your wedding, but people are being pressured. Looking at those videos, they will want to meet up to that standard. Oh, if my wedding is not up to this standard, I don't think I want it. But I just think that when you get a responsible person, you should just go down with him or her, because those things that are being displayed online is not the reality of everybody. It's just 10% of the 100% population that can afford to do those kind of wedding in Nigeria. It's not the reality. I mean, a decent wedding, a humble wedding will do. So don't get pressured in trying to make your wedding be like other people's wedding. Because at the end of the day, it's your wedding. You shouldn't try to be a copycat.
But let's hold on to that thought. Let's go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll continue this discussion. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. In case you missed what we are talking about, we're discussing marriage pressure and personal readiness with Firdausi Tanko-Lami. Well, we're talking about, the pressure and, looking at the kind of luxury weddings that we get to see being displayed, but not forgetting the fact that in a society where marriage is seen as a measure of success, how are single youths, especially, women in their 30s, being treated?
They are not being treated nicely, to be honest. Women in their 30s are seen as a failure. I was going through a tweet, and I saw this tweet one time that says, if she's 30 and she's unmarried, she's not a good person, because if she was a good person, somebody must have wifed her in her 20s. So imagine somebody reading that and having that notion that every woman that is unmarried in her 30s are bad, or they are not wife material. But forgetting that
it could be personal.
Yeah, things do happen. Heartbreaks, not finding somebody suitable. Some people are going through trauma. Childhood traumas are there. Some people are scared of getting married because of the whole situations that we see. in our today, the domestic violence, the
The constant abuse and
constant abuse and all that. So women in their 30s are not being treated right, and they tend to age shame them. You're old. But a man in his 30 is a young man. But a woman in her 30, she's
too old.
Did you see the double standard? So it's very appalling. They are not being treated nicely at all. I feel like the society should do better in trying to treat these women nicely. I mean,
is it the pressure that we get to go through from even parents saying, you're getting to 35, 40, you need to get married, there's not time.
Yes.
I mean, who determines when it's time and when it's not time?
I don't know. They they just make it seem as if it's your fault that you're unmarried at that age. Sometimes they'll come and tell you, they will even preach to you to lower your standard. They'll tell you, no, it's because you're being selective. Lower your standard. You will see men are not scarce. If this one comes, just marry him. Just get married. But I'll say, God forbid I marry for marry's sake. If he's not worth it, then don't go for it. I mean, there are women that got married in their 40s. Look at Rita Dominic. She got married in her 40s.
And she's happy.
She's happy there. Yes. Even look at Layla.
Yeah, a lot of them.
A lot of them. So whenever I see these women getting married and they are happy, I am genuinely happy for them, because it shows that, no, there is light at the end of the tunnel for women that sees themselves as, oh, I can't get married again. It kind of brings this hope that I can still find a man that would love me regardless, love me crazy, regardless of my age, regardless of what people say, oh, I am too old, or you need to find a younger girl. And most of the time when they preach a younger girl, it's because they want to control them, because it's very hard for you to control women in their 30s and in their 40s, because now there's nothing you can do to brainwash them. They've gone through life. They are exposed. They've seen things. So you cannot brainwash a 30-plus woman the way you can brainwash a 20-plus woman.
Even the 20 are now being smarter.
Yes. Well, most times, the frontal lobe tends to develop in your mid-20s. So let's say like 25, 26. Those women now know what they want. You can't tell them otherwise. So most times when they preach, oh, get married in your early 20s, 21, it's because they just want to be controlling. If you look at it, most times, not all the time.
Which we know that, normally women are supposed to be submissive once you are ready to take the step to go into this particular journey. But let me ask you this tricky question that we all know is something that plays out. Do you think matchmaking actually works in terms of, because I've seen a lot of people that have actually gotten the compatibility that they're looking for in a partner through matchmaking. But especially coming from family, do you think it works all the time? Because I've seen marriages that have failed even after families matchmaking, maybe the daughter to a friend's son and what have you. Do you think it works?
It works sometimes, but I feel like when it gets annoying is the way our loved ones, because they think they do it out of care, out of love, is the way they do it. How can you just share my number to somebody without informing me first? And I just get a DM from somebody, hi, my name is da-da-da-da-da, and your sister gave me your number, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, wait, where is this coming from?
I mean, if you block the person and then they get angry.
And they get angry, they'll be like, oh, it's your fault. I matchmaked you with somebody. You were treating him badly. He came to report to you as if I'm sort of a kid. I do not know what I want. It's the way
someone you don't even know is already reporting you.
It's the way they go about it. If you want to matchmake me with someone, consult me first. Ask me, do you want? It's not like you just share my numbers to people like a confetti, like, oh, thing. Because I don't know what must have brought about that discussion. How did you even tell this man that? Or you just look at them and say, oh, I have a sister. She's unmarried, please help me marry her.
Exactly. So I would like to, do you feel when that happens, do you feel like you're being advertised? Do you get to wonder,
Yes.
what are they telling this person?
That's it. They advertise you to this man. So when these men come, they come and say as if you're desperate, because they'll be like, oh, since her family members are already pushing her out, she must be very desperate. So sometimes they bring things to you that normally cannot be tolerated, and they will expect you to tolerate it. I remember one time I was going out, I was on bike, and a man was in his car chasing me, and when I refused to give him audience, he started abusing me. He said, wait till you get to 30, you will come and beg us.
That's crazy. Crazy.
I'm like, where is this coming from? It's not like I knew this man before. It's not like I didn't even say a word to him. I just ignored him.
On bike,
I was on bike. I was trying to catch up with something, and he started, chasing me. And when I refused to talk to him, he got angry and said that comment. And I'm like, so women in their 30s should die. Because this one that you say, wait till you are 30. So matchmaking works, but not all the time.
So let's also talk about the religion aspect of it. Do you think religious teachings on marriage support personal readiness, or do they sometimes increase the pressure?
Well, religious teachings do increase the pressure, to be honest. I don't think they really preach that personal readiness, because as a woman, they would always tell you, oh, be submissive. So they don't even think that you have something to achieve. They'll tell you anything you want to achieve, go and achieve it in your husband's house. And most of these women that they tell that, because when you get married, children comes, you drop all your zeal, you drop all your dream to focus on children. You start nurturing them, doing school runs. Before you know it, you're worn out, you're tired. You can't even remember even if you want to further your education or you want to venture into a business, you might not even remember. Because by the time you start raising kids, by the time you start, babying your husband, because most of these men now, they are princesses, they want to be babied. By the time you do that, you find out that you don't even have time for yourself. And that's what sometimes this religion preaches this. This religion preaches this sometimes, because they just tell a woman, submit. They tell a woman, submit to your man. And as a woman, and men too. Should we talk about men being scared of successful women?
Yes, yeah, it adds to what is happening, and a lot of times men will feel like, aside from you being selective, they are intimidated by a woman's achievement. When they see the way you dress, I feel like they want to see you struggling, looking traumatized, sort of, for them to say, okay, yeah, I can wife this woman. So I feel like they are pressured.
Or they want to brag about, oh, I picked you up from the gutter. Was this how you were looking before I got married to you?
But still, can we quickly, before we go, is it better to marry early and struggle together, or wait until you're stable, and risk being judged by society? Just quickly before we go. I saw a woman, I don't know if you saw the video, a woman showing someone telling her, go and marry. She went and got married. You are not pregnant, she got pregnant. I don't know if you watched it, went viral. And then she said, you are not looking good. She got divorced, she came out and said, you cannot even stay in a husband's. The kind of pressure that comes with it is just, alarming and overwhelming. So do you think it's better to marry early and struggle together, or risk it by, waiting and until you're stable?
Well, for me, I think you should risk it until you're stable. I'm not a fan of, trying to struggle together with anybody. At the end of the day, I have my life and he has his own life. Most of the time, the women get cheated when they struggle together. Most of in fact, almost all the cases, the women get cheated. The man tends to build himself, achieve the only thing that the women achieve is her children. She'll be like, oh, my only achievement is my children, forgetting that this woman also has a dream. she has something she wants to achieve in life. She knows she wants to be something, but this marriage of a thing now kind of set her back, because especially when you don't have a supportive partner, you are doomed. So you should be ready before you go into marriage. And women in their 20s are the only one that can say, oh, they want to, you know, they want to struggle together and build up with someone. Women in their 40s, 30s that are unmarried, they don't have any business with trying to grow with any man. They don't.
A lot of them, actually.
Yes. It's just if you're in your 20s, yeah, you can say, okay, there's time. We can grow together. And maybe it's also in that same bracket. But you're in your 40s and you say you want to grow together with a man.
What grow again?
What growth are you looking for?
Well, I mean, this discussion is actually interesting. I wish it doesn't end here, but thank you so much, Firdausi Tanko-Lami, for taking your time to be on this program, being the first person to be on the first episode of this year. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Fatima.
Thank you. Well, today's discussion reminds us that marriage is not a race. It is a personal journey. While societal pressure remains strong, readiness matters more than timelines. As we continue to grow as individuals and as a society, empathy, understanding, and patience are key. When marriage is chosen from readiness and not pressure, the outcome is healthier for everyone. Thank you for watching today's episode. Join us again next week for another interesting, insightful conversations. I am Fatima Ahmed Musa, and in case you missed any of our episodes, do well to catch us across all our social media platforms for more programs like this. Stay blessed.